is an attempt to rewrite history, something Donald Trump is hell-bent on, starting with the shocking pardon of almost all of the January 6th rioters on his first day in office. That was something Trump said repeatedly he was going to do during the campaign, and some people just didn't believe him. Not even Trump's critics believed he would actually do it, or that Republican lawmakers would let him do it. The historical record on today, day 194, would show that 9 professors at Harvard said, quote, the university must not directly or indirectly cede to governmental or other outside authorities the right to install or reject leading personnel, end quote. For his new book, the historian Garrett Graff assembled accounts of prominent thinkers and academics not dissimilar from those in early 1930s Germany. Graff posted, quote, many of Europe's top scientists watched with remarkable clarity as German democracy turned itself over, often much too willingly and easily, to Hitler. And they scoffed at their colleagues and friends who assured them, don't worry, Hitler won't be so bad. He won't actually do the things he says he will, end quote. Here's Louis Fisher, a correspondent for The Nation, writing contemporaneously, quote, German democracy marched to its grave with eyes wide open and singing, beware of Adolf Hitler. Democracy is temperate. Its foe is extremism. In Germany, extremism was the thermometer of a sick social system and an ailing economy, end quote. Joining us now is the journalist and historian Garrett Graff. He's the author of the upcoming book, The Devil Reached Toward the Sky, an oral history of the making and unleashing of the atomic bomb. It will be available on August 5th. Garrett, my friend, it is good to see you again.
Great to see you, sir.
Garrett, your book is really interesting, and it's about something that people should read about. It's really, about the atomic bomb. But I want to talk to you about this, what you've written on Substack, about this moment that we're in right now. In fact, you write, today, right now, right here is the easiest moment to draw the line against Donald Trump. Every day from here, it will get harder. The politics more inevitable, the destruction more irreversible, the sheer waste more costly, the downstream impacts on American life and the world beyond more catastrophic. The challenge is the fact that has also been true every day for the last 9 years. You're making an important point. You may think we've crossed the Rubicon, but we may not have, and this might be the time to do something about it.
Absolutely. And I think when we look at the lessons that history has to teach us, which I think is incredibly important and part of why moments like this with the Smithsonian are so troubling, we see that too often in history, people assume that something is inevitable when it really isn't. And I think what we are watching across the United States, across the country, across our society right now are institutions capitulating to Donald Trump more willingly than they need to. And I think what we have seen when we go back and look at the accounts of Germany in the 1930s is exactly the same fact pattern, which is sort of everyone came in and said, or watched Hitler come in and say, look, chancellors come, chancellors go. Can he really be that much worse than the other guy? He's not going to do any of the things that he actually says. That's just the political rhetoric it takes to get elected. And by the way, sort of part of one of the other sets of these quotes from all of these physicists, these refugee physicists who ended up fleeing the enveloping cloak of fascism in the 1930s and coming to the United States, was sort of their horror at how many of their colleagues sort of willingly went along with Nazi fascism sort of simply because it was good for their careers.
And when you look at it relatively speaking, the state of civil society in Germany in the 1930s was the same as the state of civil society here, right? With museums, independent museums, hospitals, institutions. The idea that the president can't wreck all of that. And yet you have these 9 Harvard professors writing, don't let them wreck you. It can be wrecked.
And in fact, I think the parallel is almost even more clear than that, which is Germany was the center of all of the most interesting physics work that was taking place in the world. This was where people like J. Robert Oppenheimer went to go study and hear from greats like Werner Heisenberg. And sort of year by year across the late 20s and the 30s, you saw all of those brilliant physicists leave Europe and come to the United States, and sort of the rest of the history of science and technology in the 20th century was rewritten because of it.
Yeah. Garrett, it's a great book. Thank you, and it's good to see you again. Garrett Graff, his new book will be available on August 5th. It's called The Devil Reached Toward the Sky, an oral history of the making and unleashing of the atomic bomb.